Welcome. I'm Angelica.
And I'm Gaia. Today we're speaking to Alex, co-founder of natural organic skincare brand Nini that secured funding from Dragon's Den.
Tell us about your brand.
Oh, wow. So Nini stands for Natural Ingredients, Nature's Intention, because I believe that is the best way to live when it comes to beauty. We have a preference. We're not against anything that is already out there. We just prefer to use green beauty, natural ingredients, organic ingredients, biotech-rich formulas. I'm the formulator, so I make everything, and it's a labor of love. There's so much intention and so much, we say magic, and we've always said magic because it truly is just 100% magic that goes into our bottles. Like, they just are stunning. And I just have to give myself a little spritz.
Yes.
And this is Rain. And Rain, we've got really fun names for our products as well because we're a festive brand. So I just love to be playful and I love to have my inner child come out when I created formulas because everything's so serious these days. Why not? We've all lost fun. And I think that's especially true for skincare. It's like, oh, what's next? What's this? What's that? It's like, well, where's the fun? Let's just enjoy the rituals for once instead of like trying to find the latest trend or find the latest thing to do this to my skin, to be a gimmick. You know, we're completely gimmick free, but our names are very festive.
So speaking about skincare trends, what trends do you think people need to pay attention to, and what do you think people would know about skincare?
So I think a trend that I remember, which was slug-in, you know, like where you was like just layering.
I saw that.
Yeah, layering lots of product onto your skin for moisture.
I remember that. That was in sort of COVID time, no?
Yeah, and I just remember that trend being like, we're all doing that anyway, but just using the right amount of product. So somebody just put in way too much on their skin was like, oh, I must be doing it wrong. I have to do this. You don't have to do that. We was all slugging, let's say, when you do skincare. So I think a trend is just doing something they've already kind of done, but just making it very gimmicky. So I've kind of created my own trend. And we're really pushing for cold water to be used when cleansing. I mean, everyone showers with cold water, but people like in front of the sink, they're like, oh, I'm going to cleanse and I'm going to do the hot cloth, you know, like really like relax it onto my face and all this stuff. But it's really damaging for your barrier. So cold water is actually the best. So we really champion like the cold water trend. So I don't even think it's a trend. I want to try and make it a trend.
No, it is a trend. It is a trend. I saw it.
It's a trend for the body, but not so much for the face.
For the face.
Ice is for the face. But just using cold water in general, it's way better for your skin.
Okay, but not ice, because ice damages your skin barrier, right?
No, ice is very good.
Ice
but
is good.
Obviously, like with everything, it's common sense.
Yeah.
Just don't hold ice on your face for a longer period of time. So you've got to keep it moving around. It's just a bit annoying, a bit melty. But you've got those like, things that you can now use and
Rub on.
Yeah.
How do you communicate your marketing strategy? What are your methods?
We're very scrappy. And I really, truly believe in scrappy naivety when it comes to marketing. Like, you can be as glossy as you bloody well want to be. But I think people buy you and your story rather than the product. Like, me and my sister started at markets. Like, so Nini is with me and my sister. That's the name as well. So we started in markets, and that was our biggest marketing kind of lesson that we learned, is that we had face-to-face value and data from our customers who are still, most of them are still with us today. And we launched in 2017 in a farmer's market, and it was so scrappy. You know, we had £2,000 to start this company, which has now turned into what it is today, which is super successful, which I'm so proud of. You know, I wanted that to happen, but we did not have the budget to put into these glossy marketing videos. And we did at some stage do something like that, and they underperformed completely because I think people just want to, it's all about the journey, you know, it's all about, well, why start it? Like, when did you do it? Like, what made you want to do it? And for me, we're a skincare brand that is unlike any other skincare brand kind of in the world. Like, if you want to DM us, you're speaking to me and I'm voice noting you. I'm sending you a video. I'm singing down the, like, who does that? You know?
Yeah.
I don't believe in not having time for your customers. Like, I think to start a business, you have to love people, and I love people. and
love what your product can bring them.
Exactly. And love, and that all in turn comes into the formulas and to the products, because for me, I selfishly create it for myself, from my like crazy experience in the industry. And I just really wanted to be scrappy with marketing and showcase that messaging and really always hone back to, well, you know, hi, I'm Alex. And like, you know, this cleanser will do this because of this. And not necessarily go into science, because that's all on our website. And if you want to dig deeper, you can, and you can always ask. But I think it's more of the ritual. It's the vibe. It's the feeling that it gives you. I always say we go viral behind the screens instead of on your screens.
What problem is Nini solving? So what differentiates it from other skincare brands?
So what I've formulated is the healthiest version possible of skincare. So we're ethical in our ethos anyway, and that just goes without saying. When you go down the natural route, it goes without saying. I was introduced to American beauty, but American green beauty, which is so different to the UK. There's very few truly natural organic skincare brands in the UK, like very, very few. And we're probably one of the top in terms of how we actually formulate. And I'm not just picking out like, you know, we use jojoba oil, we use like this kind of extract, we use these herbs, these flowers. I'm talking about the other ingredients, the preservatives, the solubilizers, the stabilizers. We are 100% microplastic free. We always have been, because 90%, I would say about 99% of skincare is plastic. So
crazy.
Yeah, we have always been microplastic free. It's something that we can avoid in skincare. And as a formulator, I know what a microplastic is. So we just don't touch anything. I think it's extremely lazy formulating. Personally, I understand it. It's not damaging to our health because the molecule's far too thick for our skin to absorb. And what a microplastic does, I know we're going off a tangent now and talking about microplastics.
No, let's talk about that.
That was my next question.
People need to know. Yeah, I was about to ask that too.
What microplastic does, it's a film former. So it just basically layers a film over your skin, which is great for locking moisture in and for protecting it. But when you wash it off, that's it. It's into the environment. And that's where it's detrimental. It's non-biodegradable. It doesn't degrade.
So it goes down the sink,
into the environment,
and into the ocean, and it just adds plastics.
You're looking at nano-sized particles sometimes as well with microplastics that can't get through filtration systems, potentially. So...
And what does it do to your skin? Does it damage your skin at all?
Nothing. Does nothing for the skin. Just films a form. Okay. So whenever you see that kind of like glass skin effect.
Yeah, the glossy skin.
Yeah,
that's
and any mask that peels off, that's microplastics. Microplastics in gums, but gums can absorb, especially when they're natural gums, but microplastics can't. Once they dry, and we've done experiments on our Instagram, which has been kind of controversial, but do you know what? I don't care. Like, if people want to purchase products with microplastics in, that's fine. But let me educate you on the alternative. That doesn't. And we are so unbiased towards our own brand. I have always been about collaboration, not competition. So we collaborate with other skincare brands because we've all got our own story to tell.
Abundance mentality.
Exactly. We've all got our own story to tell. And it's completely authentic because I'm obsessed with beauty.
You clearly
As you
are.
can tell, I'm like, oh my God. So I'm obsessed with it. So when I was formulating and when I collaborate with other brands, you know, all of our ethos is the same. It's the green beauty. It's the slow beauty. It's the alternative. It's the healthy approach. It exists out there. And I'm there to showcase that these brands exist, including Nini Organics.
What is slow beauty?
Slow beauty is quite simply the opposite to fast beauty. So like, look at it in fashion. You've got, you know, completely slow fashion to fast fashion. So slow beauty lends itself to the approach of artisan made. So really high quality, you get what you pay for. It's not at a price point that is going to be, let's say, below £10 for a formula of a size in a box and everything. You know, it's more of a luxe, but it still can be accessible.
And so you said you're just on Instagram, not on TikTok.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, for that exact reason, because we're not a fast fashion beauty brand. Right. We are a slow beauty brand and we believe in results, but results take time. And that's people's biggest pet hate. We're in a world that everything's so fast and quick and we get it now, instant gratification. Whereas when you truly want results, you have to slow down. I always use the analogy of being in the fast lane and the slow lane on the motorway. fast beauty is being in that fast lane, you're going to come in, you could potentially come into accidents. But if you're in the slow lane, you could see an accident coming, you can swerve it, you can be in control. It's the same with any approach, with its fashion or skincare, or technology, whatever it may be. You can always slow it down and come back to yourself. It's very grounding when you're in that kind of world.
So how do you educate your community?
That's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
Educating a community is the hardest thing to do because they just have to love what you're saying. You know, they have to find your content fun and engaging. And luckily, I think our content's engaging because I just live for the fantasy.
Yeah.
That's one of our taglines, you know. And we do a lot of videos. We do a lot of reels, a lot of... I call it the green switch. So we do something behind the scenes, which is called the green switch, where you can come to me. It's completely free. And I just swap out everything in your beauty cabinet to a healthier version.
Is that a free consultation?
It's a free consultation, yeah.
Okay.
And we just swap everything out.
Yeah.
So I put you in the right direction for if it's makeup, if it's SPF, which we're all doing wrong, by the way, which we can talk about.
Oh, God. Please, no.
No one is using SPF correctly.
I get anxiety when we speak about it because I break out if I use it.
I put it on every day.
Everyone is using SPF wrong.
Oh, God.
And fear-mongering is huge when it comes to SPF. Well, SPF degrades when you put it on your skin over a certain amount of time. So I always say this rule: whatever the factor, apply it an hour. Whatever the factor, apply it the same time after you applied it. So let's say if it's at SPF 30, you've got to reapply it every 30 minutes, 15 every 15 minutes, 50 every hour, right? Just to be 100% protected. That's how you should be SPF.
Is that what you do?
No, I don't wear SPF. I don't believe in it. So
What do you mean you don't believe in SPF?
That's another topic. I think that SPF we fear the sun too much when we should respect it and appreciate it. I believe there's a time and place for SPF, but I don't believe it's for every day. I think too much fear-mongering has happened with SPF. The molecules are too thick. People are using it wrongly. They're not reapplying it, so they're not actually getting the protection, so it's pointless. The only time you should wear SPF, personally, for me, this is my own journey, is when I'm actually in the sun and I'm on holiday.
Right.
But I reapply. I'm in the sun, I'm out the sun, and I reapply. And I only use zinc oxide, obviously.
Only using what?
Zinc oxide. So I use mineral SPF. I don't use, the conventional... don't like to use the word chemical because everything's a chemical, but the more synthetic chemical-based SPFs I don't use because I don't like them. They're really damaging for our health, they're endocrine disruptors as well, and they're not great for the environment either. Obviously, SPF coral, So if it's bad for the coral, why the hell am I putting it on my skin?
Yeah.
So SPF is a real tricky one when it comes to skincare because everyone is like, I need it. And some people do need it if they want to protect, if they've got melasma, if they've got hyperpigmentation, if they've got dark spots that they want to protect. You obviously naturally want to protect yourself. But I would just say wear a hat and use really high antioxidant quality ingredients to help protect naturally from the sun and just be out the sun. And these people that say I wear SPF when I'm inside, when I'm at work because of the mirror, because of the window, I'm like...
That is literally you.
It's
literally me.
Is it? It's too much. It's too much for your skin. SPF is too much for your skin. It's very
I sit
clogging.
right by the window.
Yeah, it's very
big
clogging.
window.
Just get the vitamin D. Where else is it absorbing? Unless you're naked, where else is it absorbing?
Literally.
Get
Also,
the
if you
vitamin
live in
D.
the UK, you might as well dump
we
the
need
SPF.
the vitamin D. It comes through our hands. For me, luckily I've got no hair. It comes through my scalp and my face. So otherwise we're covered up in the UK because it's not that hot here. Just be sun smart, not sun scared is what I always say. And there's alternative SPFs that are way better than conventional.
Okay. So does your sister participate in this educational mission, or is she,
Nah.
what side of the business does she take care of?
She's the behind the scenes. She's the one that tells me I need to rein it in because it's becoming too expensive, even though we never rein it in with the formulas. Or she's the one that is dealing with all the business side, like everything to do with wholesale and businessy stuff.
What's the process of creating the formulas?
So I don't look at what's already out there necessarily because I'm not going to create anything new, let's say. I'm going to create a cleanser. I'm just going to create the best version of that cleanser that's already out there. And it's one of my pet hates when I hear brand founders say that I created it because it didn't already exist. And I'm kind of...
unnecessary.
It's unnecessary because it did exist, but you just didn't look hard enough. Because green beauty, let's say comparable to what I formulated, does exist out there. It's just I had something to say and I'm so obsessed with it that I wanted to create my own version of that fantasy, you know? Because if not, I'll be making that person's dream a bigger reality than my own. And that's where people get stumped in work and all that stuff. They just continuously make somebody else's dream a reality, not their own. And I had a dream and I wanted it to become reality. So I did. I made it happen. So how I come to making formulas is things that I love to use myself. So for instance, our latest formula that's going to drop very soon is called Juicy, and it's our version of a vitamin C. I personally can't use synthetic vitamin C. So every single vitamin C on the market is synthetic unless classified otherwise. So L-ascorbic acid and all the other derivatives that you can get from vitamin C. They're really hard to formulate for one because they're very unstable and they degrade. So you don't know the potency you're actually getting unless it's a fresh powder that you mix with the formula there and then you use it. So I've gone down the route of using plant source zero synthetic vitamin C. So it's all from plants: kakadu, goji berry, camu camu, baobab. So that's how I created our version of vitamin C with instead of going down the route of what everyone else has done by using an active synthetic vitamin C and just hoping for the best that it's stable over the shelf life. And this formula is incredible. Everyone and anyone can use it. Even if you've got sensitivities to vitamin C, you can use it because there's no active vitamin C. I say that with quotation marks because let's not forget the power of nature. You know, and all these synthetics come from nature. So that's where it comes to slow beauty. You're slowing down the results, but they're going to be there.
Yeah.
And your skin is able to recognize it, and it's bioavailable for your skin. It's absorbing those micronutrients at a level that it's like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with you. Rather than like, what are you doing to my skin? I'm annoyed. I'm just going to have a reaction, you know? So I created that because I can't use synthetic vitamin C.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's something wrong with it. I just can't use it. My skin breaks out and it freaks out.
Yeah.
So that's how I created the vitamin C. And our retinoid, which is a plant source retinol, so once again, an alternative, came from me watching Death Becomes Her. There's a scene in it, really famous scene, where Lisa von Riemann is the kind of potion master. She gives Meryl this potion and it's called, well, she says Sempreviva, you know, well.
Ooh, that's Italian.
Yeah, and that's the name of the product. It's called Sempreviva. But she basically says like, what does she say? Oh, nature's cruel thing is it gives us the vitality and youthfulness and then watches our self-decay. And I just thought it just really stung with me because everyone is on this anti-aging, which is such a negative connotation. So this is a very playful product. You know, we do not use the word anti-aging at all across any of our formulas because it's
very negative.
It's negative and it's an absolute privilege to age. Like, if you are able to age, it's the luckiest gift that you could possibly have. So why would we want to stop that? So we say experience. So your experienced skin, you know? So it's called the Experienced Skin Serum. So I love when I see someone's face and it shows the expression, it shows the experience, but it's youthful, it's playful, it's fresh, it's vibrant, right? Even sometimes the word youthful can be a little bit like, ooh.
Yeah.
I like the word because it invokes like a childness in within, you know?
Doesn't necessarily mean you are young.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, it just gives you the aura. So yeah, I created that from literally the spark of the idea came from watching that scene and being like, right, I need a retinol because retinol is the gold standard in like the kind of fine lines and wrinkles and smoothing out and giving that collagen the plump that it wants. Because obviously as we get older, it all depletes.
So as you get older, collagen depletes.
Everything depletes.
But there are lots of young kids using retinoid.
Yeah.
How does this work?
Well, I mean, this is a trend that we should see stop. And this for me...
It's not healthy prevention?
No, not at all. Because their skin doesn't need it.
So I should not be using it?
You don't need to be using... how old are you?
24.
You don't need to be using it.
Okay, great.
So what you want to be using is antioxidants. They're the most important thing from youthfulness, from like our young ages up to like your 20 to like your 30s, whatever, right? Prevention is better than cure, yes. But with these synthetics, it's too much. And these percentages, it's too much for your skin. That's where slow beauty comes into it. Slow it all down. Allow your skin to be skin, but it will have the vibrancy, the freshness, that glow if you slow it down. If you speed it up, you're going to cause an accident. You're going to cause a reaction. You're going to cause something where then you're going to have to reach out to that brand and then they will definitely have a product to deal with that issue that their product's already created.
Like the soreness or the redness. Or...
Exactly. So I'm a big believer in brands that have kind of like products that are multi-use and for everything and anything that don't cause issues. They just help give you the vibrancy that you want. the results that you want, you know? And the only real results that you can really get from skincare is a fresher look, a glowy look, a plump look, and a hydrated look. Fine lines and wrinkles can be soft and smooth from that hydrated look, but you can't eradicate it because that's, once again, you can't eradicate aging.
Yep.
So
what about acne?
the acne and blemishes are a different story. That's all within, that's all internal. Some external factors may play into it, like pathogens and all this stuff and bacteria. But internally, you are that miracle product. You are that miracle cure, but we just forget it. We just don't look into it.
Does that mean like gut health?
Gut health, yeah.
Yeah.
Gut is the biggest thing. Hormones. Yeah, so that if you have breakouts, normally it's your gut and your hormones that need to be looked at first. But a lot of people go to product first, and they think that something topically is going to help when something internally is screaming for answers and screaming for help. Yeah?
That's so interesting.
Yeah, so we always say that Nini is a support system. Internally, we'll give you the goals and the results that you truly want, but skincare can always be the support system. It's not the cure at all. There is no such thing as skincare being a cure, but you can be your own cure if you look within and if you sort it out within.
So you've been on Dragon's Den.
I did. We were.
What was that experience like?
Like before Nini, I was an actor, and I love being on like the camera. Like I just love it.
You
so
are
why not? Do you know what I mean? Like I was working on Nini, I was formulating Nini, and then we launched it. And then I was like, how cool would it be if I got on The Apprentice? Because I used to watch that show. I liked the show. How cool would it be if I got on The Apprentice? And then I auditioned for it, and I got down to the very final rounds of it. I remember sitting there going, it's absolutely not for me. This is so misogynistic. Yeah. This is so binary. Like there's no playfulness. It's just so not for me. It was weird because I called my sister after I said, look, I'm not doing this show. Absolutely, it's not for me. But what about Dragon's Den? Why not? Let's try Dragon's Den. So we actually applied, and then we completely forgot. Then I got a DM 2 months later, February, March, April. Yeah, in April, got a DM 2 months later being like, hey, have you ever thought about applying for Dragon's Den on Nini's Instagram? And I was like, that's so weird. We actually did apply, but we haven't heard anything. And she goes, oh, let me find your application form. She found it. She called us up the next day, and then she said, yeah, we'd love for you guys to audition for the for Dragon's Den. We think you'd be great on it. Like we've kind of really had an eye on you for quite a while now. We fluffed the pitch. They didn't show that. It was in there for 2 hours. They were basically just talking at us.
They were talking at you?
Yeah, they were just talking at us. Tuka Sullivan was like, you need to put your face on the box and this and that. I was like, no, that's not really the vibe. Like, but that's
so they didn't really grill you?
No, didn't grill us on anything. It just felt very normal and natural. Like they asked us one thing about our numbers, and Nicole had memorized all the numbers. But then Stephen and Peter both invested, and then it was a magical moment, and we, that was it. And we left and screamed, and then we had to wait a year before it aired on TV. And we are very naive. Me and my sister do everything in this business. We have freelance people that help us with marketing and emails and packing and stuff, but we do everything. So everything you see is literally me and Nicole. So when we finished the show, we had no idea, like, how many we would sell or the reaction to Nini. So we just like bought what we thought would be reasonable, and we sold through it on the night. It was crazy.
On the night?
Yeah, on the night they aired, like we'd made the most we've ever made in our life for Nini. And it was just insane. Like it was such an incredible feeling that it was almost like, what's the word? Validation. It was like, our product, our brand has been validated now because people have literally gone wild for it. And they didn't even show much about the product. It was just me being silly that they showed about. So I didn't really get the point across from the product. They didn't show much about like them using it, saying, oh, this is amazing, this smells amazing. They were spraying it. They didn't show any of that. So hardly anyone knew what it really was. Yeah. But people saw natural, organic alternatives. They saw me Accutane. Nicole had a reaction to polyurethane or something like that. She was a special effects makeup artist. She had a reaction to that, so she couldn't use it. So they saw all that, and they just were like researching our website, and they were like obsessed. And then
So how has your life transformed since you started Nini?
Or say it this way, it's like a wall, or like 4 walls around my life have completely tumbled down, and all I can see is meadows of green grass and like sea and like just openness, open space, and there's nothing stopping me. And I think when you take that chance on yourself, and you think outside the box, then you're just going to be watering your own garden and you're just going to be flourishing everything outside. And that's how I feel. I feel free, like extremely free. And I remember being in Selfridges working for a very famous skincare brand, and four walls just closing in on me, being like, this is not, I know I'm worth so much more than this. I know I can do what I'm destined to do. I know I've got so much more within me, but you'll never know unless you just do it.
Yeah.
Are you scared?
Absolutely. But to be scared is to be excited. And if I'm not scared day to day, then I'm not excited. Then what am I doing? I need to be.
So what's your relationship like with your sister and co-founder?
I mean, it's like any typical brother and sister that you could possibly come across. Fight, but then we're over it. Like, we're like in our studio going, oh my God, you didn't order this. Why didn't you order this? You should have ordered this last week. Da, da, da. 10 minutes later, have you seen this? This is the funniest thing you've ever seen in life. Oh, and by the way, lol, this happened the other day. Da, 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 da. And we're over it. You know, I just think it's the perfect combination for Nini. You know, the perfect combination. We didn't get along when we was younger. She used to like, not bully me, but she used to like say, you've got no friends. And because I was.
Is she older?
She's older. She's 2 years older than me. But we really connected when I came out. When I was younger, I came out to her first and we really connected then. And then I just think our relationship just, you know, we speak every single day. And I think we would even if we didn't have a business. And she's got 2 kids, my nephews, Zeke and Jax, who I'm obsessed with, who I actively wanted to be a really big role in their life.
Yeah.
So I've seen them more or less every single week since they've been born. And one's 8. And he's the age of Nini because Nicole gave birth when Nini basically came
Wow,
across.
that's impressive.
Yeah, so as soon as he was born, she was straight back in to markets, into work. You know, we took Zeke along with us, and then same with Jax. So, you know, it's all this love and all this energy and this positivity goes into our brand in more ways than one, with our emails, with our messaging, with our products, with our formulas. You know, like I said, I just wanted to create the best version of skincare I possibly could. And why not do it with your sister?
So would you say that you were both sort of kind of innately entrepreneurial?
Yes, I've always been entrepreneurial, always. And she's always been very, I'd say she's entrepreneurial as well, but she's also been very good at just getting things done. Like she's a real doer, you know, and
are you more of a detail-oriented kind of person, or?
Yes, I am. I'm the creative through and through. She's more of the details behind the scenes with that, but she's also very creative. But there is times where I've said, trust me on something. She says, no, I don't believe you. It's not going to work. And then she's trusted me and it's been like a huge success. I was like, see, just trust me. Please, when it comes to creativity, if I know anything is creativity, trust. Because my gut is telling me. You learn so much about the things that you kind of want to do but don't know how to do them.
Yeah.
And you invent ways of doing something. You know, we didn't really ask people for help. We just kind of just did it. It was like, and then we would see it along the way. We would find out things along the way and would learn a lot of stuff, you know. God, we're little sponges when it comes to the business. So yeah, but we just, like I said, we just don't know when to stop speaking. It's like when people come for advice, we're like, and I have to catch myself sometimes saying, I'm really sorry. I'm just really excited that you're going to go on this journey.
Amazing. Well,
I think we've got everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please,
fun.
let's come back. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
Please. Thank you, guys.
That's brilliant.